Okay, let's get right into it. Today we're going to break down this really common, really frustrating thing we do, self-sabotage. We'll look at why it happens and, most importantly, how to finally stop getting in our own way. So let me ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever set a big goal, you're all fired up, but then somehow things just fizzle out? And when you really think about it, does it feel like the biggest obstacle in your path is, well, you? If you're nodding along, you are definitely in the right place. And this isn't some vague, abstract feeling. Self-sabotage shows up in really specific ways. I bet some of these look familiar, right? Procrastinating on that big project, quitting something right when it gets challenging, or getting stuck in analysis paralysis. These are all classic textbook signs. So why on earth do we do this to ourselves? Well, the answer is kind of surprising. It's not because you're lazy or undisciplined. It all comes down to a very powerful, very ancient instinct wired deep inside your brain. This right here, this is a total game changer. We spend so much time beating ourselves up, thinking, I just need more willpower. But that's not it at all. The real issue is a conflict, a tug-of-war that's happening inside of you. It's not a character flaw. And here's the absolute core of it. Your brain is just trying to protect you. That's its number one job. So when you face something new or challenging, your brain sees potential pain, potential failure, or just good old-fashioned discomfort, and it yanks the emergency brake. It's a protection mechanism that's just a little misguided. And this protective instinct doesn't just happen once. Oh no, it actually creates this really frustrating loop that can keep us stuck for years. So let's map out exactly how this cycle works. And the fear that kicks all of this off is twofold, which is fascinating. Of course, there's the fear of failure, the fear of falling flat on your face and feeling like you're not good enough. But have you ever thought about the fear of success? Yeah, the fear of new pressures, higher stakes, and having to live up to new expectations. Both of these can be just as paralyzing. This is exactly why we cling to our comfort zones, even when we're not happy there. Your brain is wired to love what's predictable. It would rather deal with a familiar, known negative situation than risk the scary, unknown territory of a positive change. That's a powerful current to swim against. And what's driving all this? Well, so often it boils down to one single powerful belief. That quiet little voice in the back of your head that just whispers, I'm not good enough. When you believe that, your actions will almost always find a way to prove it right. Okay, just look at this cycle for a second. Does this feel a little too real? You set a goal, you're doing great, and then boom, step 3 hits. That wave of fear or discomfort. So what do? We avoid it, we procrastinate. And for a second, we feel relief. But it's short-lived, right? Because then the guilt and frustration crash in, and we're right back at square one. And when this cycle repeats over and over, it does more than just stop a single project. It slowly eats away at our self-belief. But the real tragedy, the biggest cost of all of this, is all of that unrealized potential. It's the version of you that could have been, the things you could have done, the life you could have built. Okay, so that's the what and the why. It's a bit heavy, I know, but now for the good part, the most important part. Let's talk about the practical, actionable steps you can take to finally break free from this cycle. First things first, you have to have awareness. You can't fix a problem if you don't know exactly what it is. So you've got to become a bit of a detective of your own behavior. Ask yourself these questions, seriously. Where do you always get stuck? What's your go-to move when things get uncomfortable? And here's a huge mental shift. Instead of asking yourself, why am I so lazy? Try asking this instead. What am I actually trying to avoid here? Look underneath the procrastination. Is it the fear of being judged, the discomfort of not knowing what you're doing? You have to get to the root of the feeling. So what's the antidote to that overwhelming fear? It is so beautifully simple. You just take one small step. Don't think about writing the whole book. Just write one sentence. A tiny action is way less threatening to your brain, and it's how you build momentum. Small wins are everything. Next up, you have to start challenging that inner critic. And look, this isn't about trying to force yourself to believe something unrealistic. It's about a simple, gentle shift. You're not saying, I'm the best. You're just changing, I'm not good enough, to I'm learning. See the difference? One is a dead end, the other is a path forward. And this might be the most powerful reframe of all. That feeling of discomfort, the one you've been running from your whole life, it's not a stop sign. It's a mile marker. It is physical proof that you are growing. So the next time you feel it, I want you to say this to yourself. This feeling means I'm progressing. And that brings us to this simple but crucial rule. Consistency is greater than perfection. Perfectionism is just a fancy, high-minded excuse to never get started. It's fear dressed up in a tuxedo. The goal isn't to be flawless. The goal is to just show up, imperfectly but consistently. So, when you put all of this together, what does it mean? It means you can fundamentally change your relationship with yourself. You can go from being in a constant state of internal conflict to being your own biggest ally. It's about becoming your own advantage. You know, if you only take one single thing away from all of this, let it be this. This whole struggle is just a clash between two fundamental parts of you, the part that wants to grow and the part that desperately wants to feel safe. The solution isn't to crush your need for safety, but to learn how to reassure it while you take those small, brave steps forward. And that really brings us to our final thought. You're not stuck because you're incapable. You're stuck because a well-meaning part of you is trying way too hard to protect you. And the moment you really get that, the moment you learn to work with that part of yourself instead of against it, is the moment you stop being your own biggest obstacle and start becoming your own greatest advantage.